It's the beginning of April, so that means watches and wonders. Hi everyone and welcome to Shaluso, and yes, today I'm going to be talking about my favorite releases from Watches and Wonders 2025. There were plenty of great releases this year, but I'm going to jump straight into them with Bremont. Now Bremont last year definitely had a bit of a rocky start with their rebranding, the introduction of the Terra Nova, but this year I think has gone really well for them with a great showing, going back to their roots but still integrating that new branding with their new Altitude collection. The watch is fully in titanium, a little bit more modern. It's a 42mm and it has that new logo, which I think fits really well onto the dial of this watch, and I think it looks right at home. It hasn't lost any of the more technical aspects of the MB line. Specifically, it still has that shock resistant triptych case. It's 100 meters water resistant. It's anti-magnetic. Yes, it's not an in-house movement, but it is a Le Jour Perret movement with a 68-hour power reserve. And all of this I think fits really nicely into the case. The bracelet design is really cool. Overall, a really good addition, and I think this is a good sign of more to come. Next, we have another brand that I don't think gets anywhere near as much love as it deserves, and that is Nomos. This year, they introduced a new Worldtimer variation of their Club collection. This is their sort of more everyday usable sports watch collection, but still with a fully in-house, made in Germany movement. And I think this is just a really cool example of a Worldtimer where it's versatile, but it's also fun. You have a good movement to look at. It's nice and thin. It's not as thick, for example, as a Tudor Black Bay GMT. Everything really adds up for this watch, and they introduced a ton of really cool limited edition colors in addition to my personal favorite, which is actually the standard blue dial. Again, a perfect execution, so I'd really like to get hands-on with this and see what this watch is about, because I think it's a brand that deserves a lot more attention than what it gets. Following on from that, we have Panerai with the Luminor Marina. This, I think, is one of the biggest steps that Panerai has made. For one thing, they bumped up the water resistance to 500 meters. This is now a very serious dive watch. No more 300 meters. Submariners and Seamasters do that every other day. 500 meters for the Luminor Marina, but they managed to do it while actually making the watch thinner. Yes, it's still 44 millimeters wide, but it's only around 13.7 millimeters thick. And that's a huge advancement when you consider they upped the water resistance. The movement now actually has hacking seconds, apparently, the caliber P980, and it still has a 3-day power reserve. Sure, it's not the most over-decorated movement, but it is a good one, and they are putting it on display. I think that Panerai has been a bit misunderstood, but this, in my view, is a completely unimpeachable move. This is adding value, and I love it, and I applaud Panerai for taking this step forward. I can't wait to see them take a similar mentality across their entire range. Of course, we have what's generally the darling of every Watches and Wonders, which is a Rolex, the new Land Dweller. Straight out of the gate, I'm going to say I really don't like the name. I think they could have done better, and I'm not a fan of the dials. But now with the negatives out of the way, focusing on the positives. For one thing, I love that they brought back the design and the look and feel of the oyster quartz with that flat style Jubilee. I think it's a really cool retro inspired design, but even then that's nothing too new. What I really like is the fact that this is very much a movement first watch. They've introduced a completely new philosophy on how to make an escapement, which is supposed to be even better than the Chronergy escapement, and it's also a high beat movement. That's right, this watch beats at 5 Hertz. So gone are the days where Rolex would detune zenith movements and bring them down to 28.8. Now they are making their own 5 Hertz movement. I think it's a great advancement, and I think shows a lot of what Rolex has to come. I think they're going to be putting their movements more front and center, and so I really have to applaud them for that and for making a new model. I may not like some details about it, but at the end of the day, Rolex is a brand that I've more often than not criticized for just releasing variations on the same thing. This is a new model, and we should definitely applaud them for that, and I can't wait to see how this collection evolves in the future. And then the very last release that I want to highlight, it is my personal favorite, and that is the Hublot Big Bang 20th anniversary. They've taken the classic Big Bang original look and finally put the Unico movement inside. They've also given it the one-click system. They've got it fully in titanium, brought it down from 44 to 43 millimeters. This, I think, is what the collection always needed, and I honestly hope that this is something, while yes, it's an anniversary piece now, I hope this is something that carries on for the rest of the collection and that they even start doing it with the Classic Fusion as well. start doing more in-house movements, start getting rid of the Salida movements. A brand like Hublot, in my view, just doesn't need those things. It doesn't need that baggage, and they've made some really cool watches in the past to show that they can do it already. Now I just want to see them keep pushing this through their entire line, but this is a great start. And what better way to celebrate 20 years of the Big Bang by putting all of their advancements into one collection. They have their in-house movement, they have a variation with magic gold, they have a variation with king gold, they have one with red ceramic, which is one of the most difficult things to do, is achieve a nice vibrant colored ceramic. They've used this to showcase all the progress they've made in the last 20 years, and I really think that's a great way to celebrate the anniversary of a collection. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that Hublot Big Bang in hand at some point as well. But those are just my highlights of Watches and Wonders 2025. Let me know in the comments below, what were your favorites? What were some watches that you think really stood out? What were some that disappointed you? What do you want to see coming out throughout the rest of the year? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Of course, if you like this video, then make sure you like it and share it. If you want to see more pictures and infographics of watches, you can follow me on Instagram at Shaluso. If you want to see more videos of watches, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell as well so you know when the next video comes out. But thanks for joining me on this quick overview of my favorite new releases from 2025 Watches and Wonders, and we'll catch you on the next video.